Very good morning, dear student. Welcome to the Sukha's Point. Dear student, today we are taking the topic independent events. So here we see what is the meaning of the independent events and dependent event and how we can draw the formula for that one. So dear student, in the previous video you have already learned about the natural events happening together, P intersection F or PE oblique F. And also we have learned about the conditional probability formula PE oblique F is equal to given by this one. So now see, suppose we are considering two events E and F. The event E is the drawn card is a spade and F is the event drawn card is an S card. So see here, probability of getting an spade card out of 52, you know that there are 13 spade cards. So 13 upon 52, if you solve 1 by 4. Similarly, probability of getting an S card, that is PF equal to 4 by 52, which is 1 upon 13. So now if you want to find the both as the card, which one spade as well as S. So probability of this, there is a one card which is spade as well as S. So probability of that one will be 1 upon 52. So now if you find the separate probability of getting spade 1 by 4, separate probability of getting an S card 1 by 13. Now if you want to find the conditional probability PE oblique F, means probability of getting an spade card when F is already happened or drawn card is an S, using the formula and putting the value you get 1 by 4, which is equal to the probability of E. So we can see here PE oblique F equal to PE. So what we can get result conclusion PE oblique F equal to PE equal to 1 by 4. Means both are equal, either conditional probability or simple probability. So we can say there is no effect of F happening on E. Similarly, you can use the second formula PE F oblique E and put the value, you get that probability is 1 by 13, which is the probability of getting the simple event, that is S. So again you can say probability of happening of E is not affect the happening of F. So you can say both the events are separate. There is no effect of one happening event to the other. So such type of events are called the independent events. So first definition we write for the independent events. Two events E and F are said to be independent if probability of F oblique E equal to PF. That we have to see with the help of example in the previous case. And also we see or we prove that PE oblique F equal to PE. So PE oblique F should be equal to PE. Then two events are said to be independent. Here providing that PE not equal to 0 and PF not equal to 0. In that case we are saying that the two events are independent events. Now by the multiplication rule of the probability says, now by rule of multiplication, the rule of multiplication of probability what says that probability of E intersection F is equal to in two way, that PE into PF oblique E. Now if two events are independent, so what happens? So if E and F are independent event, then so if these two events are independent E and F, then we can use this result. PF oblique E can be replaced by PF. PF oblique E can be replaced by PF. So this PF oblique E in the multiplication rule we are replacing by PF. So what we get? PE intersection F is equal to PE into PF. Clear? Similarly, for the second, we can also see multiplication rule. This is fast. Also, we have multiplication rule PE intersection F is equal to PF into PE intersection F. So in this also, if two events are independent events, then we can replace this PE oblique F. E oblique F can be replaced by PE. So what we get? PF oblique PE. So first and second both are same. So this is very important rule that two events are said to be independent if this formula is satisfied. So we can write definition number third. What says if E and F be two events associated with same experiment, associated with the same random experiment, then E and F are said to be independent events. If what is condition? PE intersection F equal to PE into PF. So this is very important formula. We have to check if PE intersection F means probability of happening two simultaneously events is equal to the product of the happening of their individual events. PE intersection F equal to PE into PF. Both are equal, then we can say events are independent, otherwise it is a dependent. So one may be say if this is not dependent, so you can say E and F are said to be dependent event. Dependent events if what is the formula for dependent? PE intersection F, that is not equal to PE into PF. If this case is true, we can say that given two events are the dependent. Otherwise, it is independent event. Now here some points are given that we have to discuss. That sometimes there is a confusion between independent event and mutually exclusive events. Here we are discussing about the independent events. So there is a confusion between independent events and mutually exclusive events. So in 11th class we have to see the meaning of the mutually exclusive event, that event which are pairwise disjoint. Their intersection is two events are said to be mutually exclusive events, then their intersection equal to 5. Clear? So we can say the term independent is defined in terms of probability. We are using this in the case of the probability. But this we are using word only for events, not in the probability. Mutually exclusive events are we use term in the subset of a sets or sample space only for events, not for the probabilities. This is the first difference. And secondly say mutually exclusive event never have an outcome common. This event have outcome not common because their intersection equal to 5. But for independent events may have common output. Like we see in the previous example, one ace of the spade, one king of the spade. So they have common in the case of the independent event, but they have no common. This is the different. Clear? In other words, two independent events having non-zero probabilities of occurrence cannot be mutually exclusive. So these two independent events cannot be mutually exclusive event, or two mutually exclusive events having non-zero probability occurrence cannot be independent. So these are the two different. Now one more point is given that says if two experiments are said to be independent. Now we are regarding the experiment. Suppose we are given two experiments E1 and E2. These are two experiments. Either they are independent or not. How we can check? So we take two events associated with the each experiment. Let E be the event associated with the first experiment. F be the event associated with the second experiment. Clear? So we can say if it is the probability of simultaneous occurrence of the probability of E and F, which is the two experiments are, that is the product of this. If this is true, then two experiments are said to be independent. What? If we are given E1 and E2 as a two experiment, we are considering event E with the first experiment and F for the second experiment. Now if this is true, then this experiment is also known as a independent experiment. Otherwise, they are dependent experiment. Means PE intersection F should be equal to PE into PF. And third case, three events are said to be mutually exclusive events. This is the case we discussed, that is 14. So we can say three events A, B, C are said to be independent events if pairwise result is true. If we are taking 3, then A intersection B should be equal to PA into PB. PA intersection C should be equal to PA into PC. Or PB intersection C, that should be equal to PB into PC. And last, intersection of all, that should be equal to the product of their individual probabilities. So PA intersection B intersection C should be equal to PA into PB into PC. So for three events to be independent, all these conditions should be satisfied. If all these three conditions are satisfied, then we can say the given events are independent and at least one of them is not true. Any one is not satisfied, then the events are called as dependent. So it is necessary that all these four conditions should be satisfied by the three events to be independent. So this is all for independent and dependent event. Now we take some example for using the formula. How we can use this formula for finding either the given events are dependent or independent, that we have to see. So first example C. Example 10. A die is thrown E is the event, the number appearing is a multiple of 3. Number appearing is multiple of 3. This is the first event E, and F be the event, and F be the event. The number appearing is even. Number appearing is an even number. Then say find whether E and F are independent or not. Find E and F are independent or not. So you have to check that E and F are independent events or not. So now see, in solution we write here sample stage when you are throwing a die, total outputs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and E be the event that the number appearing is multiple of 3. So there are only 2, 3 and 6, and F is the event that number should be even, that is 2, 4, 6. And so we get E intersection F common to both. There is only one, that is 6. So now you find the probability of E intersection F. That is 1 out of 5, 6. So 1 by 6. Probability of E, that is 2 by 6. And probability of F, that is 3 by 6. Now you multiply these E into F. 2 by 6 into 3 by 6, that is 3 to 2, 1. So you get 1 by 6, that is also equal to. So our formula is true, that PE intersection F is PE into, formula is satisfied. Therefore E and F are independent events. So in this way one can prove either the given events are independent or not. Similarly we see next example 11. So that says an unbased die is thrown, and a die is thrown. Let the event A be the, so A says odd number on the first row. Odd number on the first row. First row shows odd number. B be the event. B be the event. Second event, odd number on the second row. Odd number on second row. Now say check the independence of the events. Check for independence of events A and B. So again here same process we have to follow. We have to check either the given events are independent or not. So a die is thrown twice. It means total possible outcomes are 36. So all these 6 into 6, 36 are the elementary events, and it all have equal chance. So here 36 elementary events are equally likely outcomes. As we see usually in the classes, all have equal chance to happen, right? Now first is probability of A. So what say A odd number on the first row. first row should be odd number. So you know that odd numbers, that will be out of 36, there are 18 odd number on first. Clear? 2, 3, 5. Out of 6 there are 3, 2, 3, 5. These are odd number. And 1, 4, 6. These are not odd. So when you write this, there are out of 6 there are 3. So out of 36 there are 18. So 18 shows first. So that will be 1. Similarly, odd number on second, that is also 18. So which will be 1 by 2. But common to that one means for first and second. If you want to find probability A intersection B, then half of this, 18 of this, 18 of this, but both should be odd. So half of this, that is 9 will be there. So we can say 9 by 36, or you can write all the 36 output and then you can check. You write all the total 36 output, that is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, and so on. All write down and check. First row shows odd, second row shows odd, and first and second both should show odd number pair. So that are 9 upon 36. So that is 1 by 4. So here if you multiply these two, PA into PB, that is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, which is 1 by 4. That is also value of 2. So this formula is applicable here. So A intersection B is equal to PA into PB. Hence A and B are independent events. So in this way one can prove the given events are independent events. So now next problem say for the 3 events, say 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. So we write this out, 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. Consider the event E. So event E what says 3 heads or 3 tails. This should be gives you 3 heads or 3 tails. So there are 2 cases. F be the event F says at least 2 heads. At least 2 heads. G be the event. G will be event that says at most 2 heads. At most 2 heads. These are given. Now out of the pairs you have to check which one are independent. So out of the pairs EF, EG, FG, these pairs are given. Which are independent and which are dependent? Which are independent or which are dependent event. So again we have to use the formula, either this formula is applicable or no. So first of all we write all the event. We are tossing 3 coins 1 times. It means sample space S is equal to triple H, HSK, HTH or THH or HTK, TSK or TTH and TTT. All 3 tests. So this represents total possible outcome of the sample space. Now we are considering our events. E event says all 3 are head or tail. So there are 2 possible outcomes. Similarly, second event F, that says F event at least 2 head, then it may be 2 or 3. So it may show at H stage, H T H and T H H. So there are 4 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And G with the event at most 2. So it may be maximum to minimum 0. H H T H T H T H H H T T T H T T T H and T T and T. So these are possible outcomes for the event G. So we have to write all the cases. Now to check pairwise E F, E G, F G. So we have to find their intersection also. So for all you find the intersection. So E intersection F. So you see common to E and F. Only one, that is H. So H. Then E intersection G. E and G common is only one, that is T and T. Then common to F and G, F intersection G. So common to F and G, there are 2 H, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 cases are common. H T H and T H. These are common. Now we have to find the probability of all these. Means probability of E. So how many cases? 2 upon 8. Probability of F, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 upon 8. Probability of G, how many points on G? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 by 8. So this is the individual probabilities. Then you find the intersection. E intersection F, 1 by 8. Probability of E intersection G, that is also 1 by 8. Probability of F intersection G, that is 3 by 8. Clear? Now we have to check probability for the multiplication. You have to multiply PE into PF. That is PE is 2 by 8 multiply with 4 by 8. So that gives you 1 by 4, 1 by 8. Is this equal to P intersection F? Which is equal to P intersection F. So that is equal to E intersection F. So what we get? E and F are independent. So first case finished. Now we multiply for E and G. E and F we check. Now E and G. So you find the probability of E into probability of G. E is 2 by 8 and G is 7 by 8. So 1 by 4, that is 7 by 32. And 7 by 32 is equal to E intersection G, not equal, because its probability is 1 by 8, which is not equal to probability of E intersection G. So what we get? E and G are not independent events, or they are dependent events. Clear? Similarly, you check for the third E F. So probability of E F into probability of G. Probability of F is 4 by 8 and G is 7 by 8. So multiply 1 by 2, that is 7 upon 16. So which is equal to P F intersection G, 3 by 8. This is 7. So that is not equal to probability of F intersection G. So you can say F and G are not independent. So out of the pair EF, EG, FG, only EF is the pair of the independent event. So in this way we can check for the independency and dependency of the two events. Clear? Now next we take very important proof regarding the independent events. Prove that if E and F are independent events, prove that what we have proved, if E and F are independent events, then so are the events E and F naught. Means if problem says if E and F are independent events, then we can say the given events will be also E and F are independent. That we have to see. Correct? What says if E and F are an independent event, then E and F naught are also independent events. That's why this is very important result. Here we complementary also tell that E naught and F are also, or E naught and F naught are also independent events. So let's see how we prove this one. So for that we draw the Venn diagram as you see in 11th class. This is the universal side U, and we take two subset of this E and F as usual, and we know that this event here represents only E, and similarly this only F, and this is represent E intersection F, means common to both, and this we can represent E intersection F naught, and this represent F intersection E naught. This is very important. We already see in 11th class. This is only E. So only E means E intersection F naught, which are not in F and E, that is common. So not F is outside that. Similarly F intersection not E, which are not in E and which are in F, that intersection, and this is the common region that you already know. Clear? And outside region we generally call E naught intersection F naught, means which are not in E and not in F but in U. So that we are representing by the formula E naught intersection F naught. Now here question improve you write, since E and F are independent events, that is by formula E intersection F is equal to PE into PF. Clear? This is number one. Now we can see from the Venn diagram the events E intersection F and E intersection F naught. E intersection F naught are mutually exclusive event. Why? Because they have no common element. In E intersection F, which is unshaded region, and E intersection F, which is lined region. In these regions, there is no common element. That's why we can say this is the mutually exclusive events. Clear? Also, if you write E, the total event E or set E can be written as a union of this and this. If you want to write this set E, then how we can write? We write union of these two regions. That is E intersection F naught union E intersection F. So that we have to write. So we can say E equal to E intersection F union of E intersection F naught. Similarly, you can write for F, but here we are proving the E and F. That's why only we are taking E. So E equal to E intersection F union E intersection F. Now, if you are using the probability formula operating P, so this is A union B, and both are maximally exclusive. So for maximally exclusive, we give the formula A union B in the starting of the chapter, PA plus PB. When we are discussing about the properties of the condition. So in that case, PA union B equal to PA plus PB, where A and B are the maximally exclusive event. So here E intersection F, that is A, E intersection F naught, both are maximally. So PE equal to E intersection F plus PE intersection F naught. This will be used. Clear? Now we want to prove what? E and F naught. So we take on one side E and F naught. So this equal to PE intersection F naught equal to, we transfer to this side, this minus, so PE minus PE intersection F. Now we are given already this formula because E and F are independent events, so PE intersection F can be replaced by PE into PF. So we may use this formula here, minus PE into PF. So here you can take PE common, so 1 minus PF. So as you know that PE into PF naught, because this is a complementary event, 1 minus PF. 1 minus PF can be written as PF naught. So finally what we get? PE intersection F naught equal to PE into PF. Hence by the formula E and F naught are independent. So we independent this formula. Same is there here, E intersection F naught. F replaced by F naught. So we can say the given events are independent events. Now one more question. Last we have to prove if A and B are the events. If A and B are independent events, then probability of occurrence of at least one of A, at least one of A and B is, that is given by 1 minus probability of A naught into PB naught. So this is a very important problem we have discussed. Already given the event A and B are independent event. So we have to find what? The probability at least one of A. So in 11th class we see what is the meaning of probability of at least one of A and B. That is their union. You have to find probability of A union B. And formula for union PA union B equal to PA, PB, PA intersection B. So we can write PA plus PB. Now PA intersection B can be written as this. Why? Because A and B are independent. So A and B are independent events. That's why we can use the formula of the independent. Now in last two terms we take PB as a common. In these two terms you take PB common. So what we left? PB 1 minus PA or PA. Now you multiply this again. So 1 minus PA can be written as PA naught, and this PA can be written as 1 minus PA naught plus PB into PA naught. Now in this you can take minus common and we get the result. So 1 minus PA dash, if you take common, here left 1 minus PB. So again you can write 1 minus PA naught into now 1 minus PB, that is PB naught. So which is equal to this. So what we get result finally? 1 minus PA naught into PB. So in this way one can prove that the probability of this event, at least one of them is given by this. So it is true. So you can write and so this is very important. We have to see. So result is very important here, student, that we can use in further problem. So this is all about for today's class. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.